Welcome to Streaming News Network, where we deliver balanced reporting with the facts that matter. The Evening Edition by Claude McDaniel. Please like and subscribe.
This is Claude McDaniel with Streaming News Network. Louisiana Congressman Cleo Fields has announced that he will not seek re-election to the United States House of Representatives after a recent Supreme Court ruling dramatically changed the political landscape in his district. Instead, Fields says he will run for the vacant Louisiana State Senate seat representing the 14th District. In his announcement, he said he believes his calling is to serve the people closer to home rather than continuing in Washington. The vacancy opened following the recent death of State Senator Larry Selders, who had won the seat after Fields was elected to Congress in 2024. Republicans quickly responded to the announcement, claiming Fields was leaving Congress after newly approved district boundaries made his congressional seat significantly more favorable to Republican candidates. The revised district was approved after the Supreme Court ruled that Louisiana's previous congressional map relied too heavily on race in drawing district boundaries. The decision ended years of legal challenges over congressional redistricting following the 2020 census. Louisiana lawmakers have since adopted a new map that returns the state to one majority black congressional district and 5 districts considered favorable to Republicans. Fields has served in Louisiana politics for decades, including multiple terms in both the state Senate and the United States Congress. This is Claude McDaniel with Streaming News Network. A tense exchange during a House Oversight Committee hearing is generating widespread discussion after Texas Representative Jasmine Crockett raised questions about race while discussing the recent World Cup final. During the hearing, which examined programming and historical presentations at the Smithsonian Institution, Crockett questioned Yale University history professor David Blight about why many soccer fans appeared to support Spain over Argentina in the championship match. Blight responded that Spain may simply have been viewed as the stronger team, saying that could explain the support. Crockett then suggested that Argentina's racial history may have influenced public opinion, but her remarks were cut short as her allotted speaking time expired. The exchange quickly spread across social media, where critics argued that Crockett was unnecessarily introducing race into a discussion about international sports. Supporters, however, contended that historical and cultural issues can influence how nations are perceived on the global stage. The hearing itself focused on concerns over how American history is presented by the Smithsonian Institution, with lawmakers debating whether federally funded museums should avoid politically divisive themes. The World Cup exchange has since become one of the hearing's most widely discussed moments, highlighting the continuing national debate over race, history, and politics in public discourse. This is Claude McDaniel for Streaming News Network. Media personalities Megyn Kelly and Sunny Hostin are at the center of a new public dispute following the release of police body camera footage connected to Hostin's son's trespassing case. The footage shows Sunny Hostin arriving at the scene after her 24-year-old son, Gabriel Hostin, was stopped by police near Metro-North Railroad tracks in New Rochelle, New York. During the encounter, Hostin identified herself as a co-host of The View and noted that she is a former federal prosecutor while speaking with officers. Gabriel told police he had been out for a run and entered the area after seeing an open gate. Officers ultimately issued him a trespassing violation rather than making an arrest, explaining that the offense was arrestable but citing his cooperation and lack of prior criminal history. Megyn Kelly criticized Hostin during her SiriusXM program, arguing that invoking her television position and legal background reflected unequal treatment and privilege. Kelly also questioned comments Hostin has made in the past regarding privilege and social inequality. Hostin has defended her son, describing him as a person of strong character and asking prosecutors to avoid what she called unnecessary consequences. Gabriel is scheduled to appear in court later this month. The incident has sparked renewed debate over whether public figures receive preferential treatment during interactions with law enforcement. This is Claude McDaniel for Streaming News Network. Authorities in Ohio are working to find relatives or close family friends to care for 2 young children after a tragic river accident claimed the lives of 5 adults. The children, ages 6 and 7, are currently in the temporary care of Franklin County Children's Services while officials search for a safe and familiar placement. Counselors and therapy dogs have also been brought in to help the children cope with the traumatic experience. The tragedy began Sunday evening when a passing driver discovered a distressed child running along a roadway seeking help. The child reported that family members were in the Scioto River, prompting an overnight search and rescue operation. Authorities later recovered the bodies of 5 adults from the river. Investigators believe the group had gathered to enjoy a summer evening, and that one person entered the water to swim before encountering trouble. Several others reportedly entered the river in an attempt to help, resulting in the multiple drownings. Officials say the identities of the victims have not yet been released as the investigation continues. They also noted that language barriers and the children's emotional trauma have made the investigation more challenging. Law enforcement is reminding the public that wearing life jackets can save lives, even for experienced swimmers, and is urging everyone to use proper safety equipment when visiting rivers and other bodies of water. This is Claude McDaniel for Streaming News Network. A Minnesota man has been charged with 3 counts of second-degree murder following a deadly shooting at an apartment complex in St. Paul that prosecutors say stemmed from a dispute over a monthly parking contract. Authorities allege that 31-year-old Sega Binesu entered the leasing office at the Davern Park Apartments after unsuccessfully attempting to cancel a parking agreement that cost $65 per month. Investigators say 3 apartment employees were fatally shot inside the office. Police recovered numerous shell casings at the scene, and surveillance video reportedly captured part of the shooting. A third victim was found in the back of the office after investigators believe she attempted to escape. Following the shooting, authorities say the suspect fled in a vehicle belonging to one of the victims and was arrested later that night in northern Minnesota. According to court documents, investigators recovered camping gear, personal identification, and firearm-related items from the vehicle. A roommate also reportedly told police that the suspect admitted involvement in the shootings. After his arrest, investigators say Binesu discussed personal frustrations, including immigration issues and ongoing disputes with apartment management. The investigation remains ongoing. Prosecutors emphasize that the charges are allegations, and the defendant is presumed innocent unless proven guilty in a court of law. This is Claude McDaniel of Streaming News Network. A major development has shaken the Little League Softball Southwest Region Tournament. Tulsa National Little League of Oklahoma has been disqualified from the regional tournament, according to officials with East Bank Little League of Louisiana. The disqualification prompted organizers to move the regional championship game from Wednesday to Tuesday evening. The winner of Tuesday's matchup between Greater Helotes Little League, representing Texas West, and East Bank Little League of Louisiana will earn the Southwest Region title and advance to the Little League Softball World Series in Greenville, North Carolina. Officials have not publicly announced the reason for Tulsa National's disqualification, and Little League International had not released an official statement at the time of this report. The unexpected decision has created a sudden opportunity for the remaining teams as they compete for a place on the national stage. Fans and participants are now awaiting additional details from tournament organizers regarding the circumstances surrounding the ruling. This is Claude McDaniel with Streaming News Network. The mayor of Stockbridge, Georgia, is facing increased scrutiny after the city council temporarily suspended several of his administrative privileges while an investigation into his spending practices moves forward. 22-year-old Mayor Jaden Williams, who became the city's youngest mayor after his election last year, was directed to surrender his city-issued credit cards and was temporarily barred from using city-owned vehicles. City officials say the actions are intended to protect the integrity of municipal operations during the investigation and are not disciplinary findings. Authorities have not announced any criminal charges, nor have they publicly detailed the specific allegations that prompted the inquiry. City leaders say the investigation began after financial officials and the city attorney received information requiring further review. Williams has stated that he welcomes a full and independent investigation and has taken legal action to ensure what he describes as a fair, open, and transparent process. According to city officials, the investigation is expected to take approximately 30 to 45 days. During that time, Williams will continue serving as mayor and may still preside over city council meetings while carrying out his constitutional responsibilities. The case remains under investigation, and no conclusions have been reached regarding the allegations. This is Claude McDaniel with Streaming News Network. A 27-year-old New York woman has died after receiving an anti-aging intravenous treatment at a wellness center in the Bronx, prompting criminal charges against the man who administered the injection. According to investigators, Elizabeth Barron suffered cardiac arrest shortly after receiving an intravenous infusion of nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, commonly known as NAD+, a substance promoted by some wellness clinics for anti-aging and health benefits. Police say the treatment was administered by 55-year-old Luis Rojas Cabrera, who allegedly admitted he is not licensed to practice medicine in New York. Authorities say he called emergency services after Barron lost consciousness almost immediately following the procedure. Barron was transported to a nearby hospital, where she was pronounced dead. Cabrera has been charged with unauthorized practice of a profession and reckless endangerment. He has pleaded not guilty and was released while investigators await the medical examiner's findings. Officials say additional charges could be considered once the cause of death is determined. Health experts note that while NAD+ has gained popularity in wellness and anti-aging treatments, its use should be overseen by appropriately licensed medical professionals and may require a valid prescription, depending on state regulations. The investigation remains ongoing. This is Claude McDaniel with Streaming News Network. A legal dispute involving the estate of late actor Malcolm Jamal Warner is drawing new attention after comedian Lonnie Love publicly urged Warner's family to resolve their differences for the sake of his daughter. The comments came after Warner's widow, Tanisha Warner, filed a lawsuit seeking more than $1,276,000 from the Warner Family Trust. The complaint alleges that several financial obligations outlined in a premarital agreement, including life insurance, salary, retirement contributions, and other payments, were never fulfilled before Warner's death. Love commented on social media that Warner did not leave a will, suggesting that the unexpected nature of his passing contributed to uncertainty over the administration of his estate. However, court filings publicly available do not confirm all of those claims. Legal documents identify Warner's mother, Pamela Warner, as the successor trustee of the family trust, a role that is legally distinct from serving as the executor of an estate. The lawsuit asks the court to prevent trust assets from being distributed until the dispute is resolved. The claims remain allegations, and no court has ruled on their merits. Warner died in July of last year at the age of 54 following an accidental drowning while vacationing in Costa Rica.
Thank you for viewing Streaming News Network videos, and also short and special reports. Please like, subscribe, and tap the bell to be notified of additional reports.